Hi, I'm Jérémy.
And I'm Ben.
Together we're 15 degrees north.
Today we're going to show you the sights and sounds of Bali. Bali is a tropical island in the middle of Indonesia.
As you arrive at the airport, there's a sign saying, "Welcome to the last paradise on earth," which is a bold claim, but let's see whether the Balians are right.
A Mecca for surfers, the south side of the island has vast rolling beaches covered in black volcanic sand, and palms lean over the cliffs, silhouetted against beautiful crimson sunsets.
Okay, this is already started to sound like paradise.
But while the beaches are definitely worth exploring, that's not why most people come to Bali.
For that, you have to head inland to the world-famous town of Ubud.
Here, you'll find an ancient palace and stunning temples, although temples are not in short supply in Bali.
Unlike the rest of the island, Ubud has become very westernized, with bars, restaurants and coffee shops for plenty.
For many people, a trip to Bali is all about Ubud, but for the really authentic experience, you definitely need to step outside the city limits.
And we're not ones to stay put while we're traveling.
Oh no, I mean, can you imagine staying in a resort for an entire week?
Absolutely not.
What about an all-inclusive?
Sounds like my worst nightmare.
Well, if that is your bag, then Ubud is where you'll find it. But stay tuned to see what you're missing if you don't stray out of your resort.
One thing that everyone wants to see in Bali is the rice paddies.
These are the famous ones, and unsurprisingly, they're only a short distance from Ubud.
They're absolutely stunning, as you can see, but we'll let you in a little secret here. These rice paddies are completely staged.
If they look too good to be true, that's because they are.
These are no working rice paddies whatsoever. Instead, they're essentially a park with perfectly manicured grass on the steps.
They charge you an entrance fee to walk through it, while there are many bars and restaurants overlooking it.
Don't mistake us, they're absolutely stunning though, but they're not the authentic Balian rice paddies that everyone is looking for.
We'll show you those later.
Next, we visit the monkey forest, which is again only a short trip from Ubud.
The forest is full of monkeys, so they've built a temple to the god Hanuman, who is the Hindu monkey god.
We encountered some very friendly monkeys when we were traveling in Malaysia, but here they were a little bit more aggressive.
They're very used to people coming up and feeding them, so if you're not there to give them food, they're not going to be the most friendly monkeys in the world.
If you pay a local guide, and they'll show you how to approach the monkeys properly and even get them to come and sit on your shoulder if you like.
Otherwise, we would advise that you keep a safe distance from them.
Leaving Ubud behind, we stayed in the north of the island in this gorgeous traditional Balinese house.
This side of the island is where you need to go if you want to escape the tourists and have more of an authentic experience.
Our house was nestled in the middle of the rice paddies, which we couldn't resist going out to explore.
And yes, those are indeed real ones, with locals working in the fields throughout the day.
What's happened to you, Ben?
I've been muddied. I slipped off the edge of a rice paddy into the water, and yeah, that's how muddy the water is.
It looks like you've had another kind of accident.
Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? Lovely.
Nice. Heading out on the road, we got to see a lot of Bali's dramatic landscape and multitudinous temples. Do you like my sarong?
What's a sarong? What's a sarong with you? Ha! Although Indonesia is a Muslim country, Bali is the only part of the country that has a Hindu majority. In fact, 87% of its population are practicing Hindus.
Balinese Hinduism is actually quite distinct from other denominations of the religion.
Not only do they worship the Hindu gods, but also their ancestors, Buddhist saints, and their animists too, worshipping the spirits of animals, rocks, river, the weather.
Which is a lot of things to worship.
Unsurprisingly, this means that their religion is very visible in day-to-day life. Every house has a temple or an altar, while processions are commonplace and offerings are made every few hours.
You'll find yourself stepping over offerings on the street, trying not to disturb floral offerings on your doorstep, and permanently being followed by gorgeous clouds of incense.
Before we arrived, we were a little perplexed as to why Google Maps was giving us a very long driving time for very short distances.
It became abundantly clear once we arrived.
Bali is heavily populated with 4.4 million people living on an island that's only 70 by 95 miles wide. Add to that the hundreds of thousands of tourists and Bali is bursting at the seams.
Its roads are narrow and there are no motorways anywhere on the island.
The volume of traffic is enormous, which is why most people are on mopeds, meaning that it's very difficult to get around by car.
Speed limits are low and good luck if it gets stuck behind a lorry.
Our advice is to stick to the main roads,
Or just hire a moped.
Now, we mentioned earlier that we would tell you where it is on the island that you should go for a real authentic experience of the rice paddies. Well, these are definitely the ones.
When I was in school, I learned all about how the ancient Egyptians invented irrigation that was powered by gravity, and I've never actually seen it happen in the flesh, because nowadays in the West we just use pipes and things. But it's really, really cool to see it like this, where it still uses exactly the same theory of where water just cascades down the side of a hillside and goes down and down from terrace to terrace to terrace. It's beautiful.
The biggest temple in Bali is the Besakih Temple Complex in the east of the island.
Perched on the slopes of Mount Agung at an altitude of over 1,000 meters, there are 23 temples, most of which date from the 15th century.
My beautiful yellow waistband and my black headband, all of which you have to wear in order to be able to enter the temple.
Bali's so beautiful!
The name Bali evokes images of a quintessential island paradise.
And we found this to be not far from the truth.
Having travelled across Indonesia, we found Bali to have its own culture and heritage that are really quite distinct from the rest of the country.
There's a reason why it's become a destination with such prestige attached to it, because to claim that it's anything less than stunning would simply be silly.
And as for the claim that it's the last paradise on earth, well, it's certainly a paradise.
But I'm sure Bora Bora would have something to say about that. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to like, share and subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram at 15 degrees north.
Make sure to tune in to our next video to see where in the world we end up next.
See ya.
Bye!